We've got to see China as an opportunity.
You don't see China as a possible threat if it rises too quickly, too powerfully?
I don't think the rise of China per se is a threat to the West at all. I think how China develops politically and economically will be important, and I hope it undergoes a benign evolution and development, and I think it will do. But no, China offers us also great opportunities for partnership, and you know, I go to China a lot. I think we've just got to understand that for the Chinese, they're still coping with the fact that hundreds of millions of their people still live in poverty.
Yeah.
They've got a very well-developed part of China, but you know, I always think one of the things about China is a bit like the United States of America in the sense that, you know, if you go to Washington and New York, right, do you know America? Answer, no.
You know, so you go to Beijing a lot.
You go to Beijing and Shanghai, do you know China? Answer, no.
So do you get out of Beijing and Shanghai?
I do try to, but most of the time because I'm meeting political leaders.
China has two very close friends in Asia, North Korea on the one side, Burma on the other. And these two friends are moving, in my mind, in two different directions.
Yeah.
How do you see North Korea, Burma in the new landscape?
Look, North Korea, I just feel sorry for the people, frankly.
The change of leadership would not help?
I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but you know, any system that has its people in that state of oppression is terrible, I think. Burma, I think, offers opportunities now, and I think this is where Thailand also is very important in its relationship. Or potential of its relationship with Burma. So let's hope. I mean, I think there are some positive signs in Burma. Let's hope.
Do you agree with the foreign policy of Prime Minister David Cameron at the moment, on Asia especially, on Middle East? What you're working on? Do you think they're on the right track?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, look, it's one of the luxuries of being outside the political battle is that you can be a little more objective. No, I think basically in terms of foreign policy, probably not in respect of Europe, but in respect of foreign policy, certainly in the Far East and the Middle East, you know, the policies are basically the same as the policies that I was pursuing. And I think in respect of Burma, I think the recent visit by the British Foreign Secretary was right and it was a good move.
What are some of the bad things you think this government, your government, is doing that you would like changed? No?
I don't get into that anymore.
No more?
No, look,
you mean you are not interested in politics anymore?
I'm very interested in politics, but I try, you know, if I'm going to attack my own government, I attack it in country, not out of country.
Really? You do that? No, you don't do that too often now.
No, because I also, look, I've done this job and I know how difficult it is.
Yeah.
And the last thing you need if you're doing the job of Prime Minister is your predecessor, you know, mouthing off about what you would have done. So I tend not to do that. And if I do enter in British politics, I do it very much within my country, not.
Any interest in going back?
I don't think that's.
You're legally entitled to become Prime Minister again, right?
I'm legally entitled, but there will be a few obstacles to overcome, let's say.
But the British press, part of the British press is still quite critical of you.
Oh, they go at me the whole time.
Right. They say, oh, you are a rich man now, you only make money, you are obsessed with making money, you rub shoulders with all the unsavory people around the world. Does it bother you a lot?
No, it's just the way they are. I mean, first of all, it's just not true. They talk completely.
You're not rich?
No, not when they start writing the stuff about, you know, I'm part of Britain's, I think they were writing that down, I'm about to join Britain's super rich. I was like, it's complete nonsense. For one thing, by the way, because I pay my taxes in the UK.
Oh, you do?
Right. Unlike some of the proprietors of some of the newspapers who non-domicile themselves for tax purposes, I actually pay my tax.
Out there, right?
Yeah. But also, what I'm building, I spend most of my time actually on unpaid pro bono work, and what I'm building is an organisation which has got its business part, because I enjoy doing that, and that's important. But most of my time is spent with my charities or on my the Middle East peace process probably takes up. It's a single thing I spend, single item I spend most time on.
So the conflict of interest accusations that you work for J.P. Morgan as well, and you use your connections in the Middle East to get contracts for them. No, not true.
No, it's complete and total nonsense. And this is thing about British politics. Is with the media, you've got basically two establishments, right? One on the left and one on the right. And what
it's like politics, right? Left and right.
Yeah, but I never fitted.
You were never left or right, or
I was a centre ground politician, and basically, before I became leader of the Labour Party, we had never won 2 consecutive full terms.
Yeah.
And under me, we won 3. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I did that by changing the Labour Party. What these people want to do is they go after me because they want to discredit the new Labour brand, and they basically want to return British politics to traditional Tories fighting traditional Labour. Now, personally, I think that's not the right choice for Britain in the 21st century. I think that is 20th century politics and not sensible. But these, they're very powerful people in the media either side, and part of their way of doing this is to go after me the whole time, but I don't.
Okay.
I got used to it while I was in office, and I shrug it off
from
now.
outside, so you don't get to read them. But you still go on the internet to read them.
Not really, no.
Finally, advice for Thailand. We have been affected by political conflict for at least 5 to 6 years, and you have been involved in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. How do we go about doing national reconciliation?
Do you mean in terms of your sort of political thing at the top, or
Left,
about the
right,
South?
yellow, red, right wing, left wing, and we don't trust you at all. As soon as you mention something that is attached to your side, I'm totally against. I'll not even listen to your reasoning. How do we get started?
I think the most important thing for Thailand is to realize that it does actually have an immense opportunity, which is really should feature bigger than the disagreements. So I'm not saying, look, this is not for me to say, but you have to work out a way of achieving this reconciliation in your politics because of the difficulties of the past years. But I think, it's easier to do that, and this was my experience, for example, in Northern Ireland. It's easier to do that if people have a sense of the opportunity that they've got. And the opportunity for Thailand is that ASEAN is one of the fastest developing areas in the world. You've got countries that are changing and offering real opportunity. Indonesia, right? Vastly different from where it was 10 years ago. Burma opens out. Vietnam in a very different position. Philippines, potentially. Right? So, if you take the countries in ASEAN, Thailand's got as good a chance as any to be the gateway of the world into ASEAN. Right? It's probably one of the best places to do business. Thai people are basically liked and respected. For all your political problems, there is an underlying resilience and stability in the Thai economy that's carried you through all the political change, the floods and everything. So I think, my advice would be, you've got to handle your reconciliation way yourselves. No one can do that for you. But I think if politicians from all sides gave people some sense of the opportunity Thailand has for the future, then I think you might find that reconciliation easier to achieve.
Finally, your family picture. Who is doing what now? Your kids.
Right, my kids.
Yes. Cherry, she's still doing her lawyer firm?
Yeah, but she's also got a foundation.
And she competes with you for donations, charity?
She's doing very well, actually. Really? What she does is really it's about women's empowerment, right? So it's different, but it's very, very successful. And then my
eldest is
my eldest son is my eldest son is working in London.
Yes.
As is my middle son. Well, he's working at the moment for Morgan Stanley. Okay, but he's also very interested in politics.
Really? So he's following your footsteps?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see. There's my middle son. Who's also working in London. My daughter is just doing her bar exams, and then this little one here He's now 11.
11.
He's just started his big school.
You don't miss him. You're traveling so much.
I do miss him.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Nana. Yes. Can I take a picture with you, sir?
Sure. We're here.
Yes, please. Yes. It was great interview.
Thank you.
Still talk to Gordon Brown these days?
Yeah, from time to time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still on talking terms? I'm reading the background to this.
Have you taken my thing off? This is gone, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Scott,
Okay.
please. Yes,
And now,
Thank you, sir.
good to see you.
Thank you,
See you later.
Bye. Yes.